People are saying you could shake the Joy-Con to throw the Pokeball in docked mode, but either they are weakening the Pokemon with strategic battling, and you just throw the Pokeball, or you still battle but you throw instead of just press a button. In which case they are adding an extra step. Honestly, this seems like cash grab.
If Game Freak's still taking away features away from the core game series, I feel like this is an abusive relationship between GF and their fans.
You am no real Pokemon fan.
A true fan can realize when a product is bad in terms of quality and give a constructive criticism about it. I think excluding Pokemon from other regions, even cross-gen Evos, is a terrible idea.
Believe it or not, my friend is hired by Game Freak to draw Pokemons, and 1 week ago they asked him to draw 3 new concepts.
Bro, if you're an OG Pokemon fan, you know random encounters is part what really defines Pokemon.
What's popular isn't always what's good. It could make all the money in the world. Game Freak still makes awful games and spits on their loyal fans. They've said time and time again that they do not care about the long-lasting fans. They only want the new generation of kids. Oh, and please remove the soy from your diet and hang up the fedora. It's pathetic.
You know, you sort of look like Jesus.
Jesus wasn't white, LOL. Dude, you are the first English-speaking person who actually knows how to pronounce Pokémon. I'm so very proud of you. Hey, at least somebody appreciates my pronunciation. I like you. You remind me of Jared. Other than that, I don't know what to think of you. Who's Jared?
What? Seriously? No breeding? That's like the best part.
What do you think Pokemon is? At exactly what point did it become a hardcore competitive game? It's always been targeted towards kids. And that's not to say that you can't enjoy it as a grown-ass man. I sure do. Well, to the best of my ability. I want to be dead. But to think that the people at Game Freak are gonna cater to your incredibly niche interests is a bit of a stretch.
In my experience, when talking about Pokemon, you are bound to find a contingent of fans that believe Game Freak exists to cater to competitive players. They attempt to back up this view by pointing to the money Pokemon Company pumps into their competitive scene. These people are also the ones that seem to think the games need to go completely unchanged beyond this mythical Goldilocks phase they think Pokemon has been in for the past 22 years in order to be successful. And I mean, that's just dumb, honestly. Most of the people that are interested in jumping back into Pokemon games likely don't even know this scene exists in the first place.
Pokemon Let's Go is targeted towards new fans and old fans who have been dormant for a while. The hope is that the original lineup of Pokemon will give old fans the dose of nostalgia needed to get back into the series. But these fans wouldn't exactly be experienced gamers either. Think about the type of people that you knew playing Pokemon Go at the height of its popularity. All of the long-term Pokemon fans, the ones who have all of the previous Pokemon games. What, you think you're not getting this one? You're getting this one.
They're getting both. And 6 Pokeball Pluses, like every other rational human worth their weight in berries.
One of the biggest complaints I'm seeing from Pokemon diehards is the omission of random encounters, a series staple in Pokemon and a trope in the RPG genre as a whole. I think these are people who just don't like change. Random encounters are not at all the best way to do anything at all, ever, for any reason, anytime, ever.
For any reason.
There has to be a better way to challenge players or to gain XP. Being able to see Pokemon in the overworld makes a lot of sense. You can avoid them if you have them already, or you can run into them if you want to gain some XP. Running into them randomly isn't more difficult, it's just more annoying. It's a time waster. The hitbox of these Pokemon in Let's Go feels a lot wider than it looks in the trailers, so they might not be as easy to avoid as they look. But at least you'll know what general areas to steer clear from if you have enough goddamn Zubats! Alright, enough with the Zubats!
This is the complaint that just feels like complaining for the sake of complaining. Random encounters add nothing to the game but tedium, and if you think otherwise, you don't play Pokemon games very long before quitting. Or you have Stockholm Syndrome and fear change. I know there's people that enjoy the mindless grind, and that's fine and everything, but that grind doesn't justify the existence of random encounters. You can have your grind and also let the rest of us have the option to grind. And no, by option, I don't mean the option to pay to circumvent a tedious part of the game by way of repels.
Probably the biggest issue people have, and I can level with you here, I can sympathize, I can see where you're coming from, is the way that you catch wild Pokemon. But here's the way that I see it. Wild Pokemon battles are just a means to an end. You know that you're capable of catching that Pokemon, but first you better watch out. You better make sure you don't kill it. Better pull out that Weedle you have in your party just for this particular reason. Make sure you don't hurt it too bad. Can you tell I don't care for turn-based combat? Are motion controls gonna be any less annoying? Probably not, but I'm open to new ideas. Trainer battles are left completely intact, so the core mechanics of Pokemon are still a major part of the game.
The other thing I feel compelled to mention to further drive home Bob's point about the battle system is that as far as we know, the way that stats are handled is largely unchanged. We still have an attack stat, special attack stat, defense stat, and so on and so forth. It's not just simplified to 3 stats and CP like the OG Go game. Also, it's not like Pokemon wasn't already on the verge of making battling less of a mystery box in recent entries anyway. Pokemon's strengths and weaknesses are already being logged whenever you manage to land a super effective or effective move, as well as not very effective and completely ineffective moves. Eevee training has already been simplified through super training. IV training and breeding overall was already being simplified through items like the Destiny Knot and NPCs that allow you to see your IVs. The beauty of all of this though, if you're a tryhard, you don't have to rely on any of it. Put all that arbitrary challenge on yourself all you want.
Who invited this fucking nerd, right guys? Now, where all of these hardcore Pokemon fans really start to pick these games apart is in the end game content. After they're done beating all of the gym leaders, what's gonna keep them playing the game? What's gonna keep them leveling up all of their Pokemon? What's gonna keep them wanting to catch them all?
In my opinion, this has to be the closest thing to a valid concern we've seen with this game. Do I agree with it entirely? No. Does it have merit based on what we know so far? Sure. There's a lot less Pokemon in this game, that much we know for sure, so it's at least fair to say there isn't as much content in that sense. We're getting hints at more Mega Evolutions being added or something of that sort based on the fact that Nintendo recently filed trademarks for 15 Kanto Pokemon, all of which are currently Final Evolutions, none of which currently have Mega Evolutions. As far as content outside of just catching Pokemon, we may be jumping the shark on this a bit. We have no idea what post-game content in the form of a Battle Frontier or Battle Tower will end up being. We could end up seeing them pad the post-game with either of those, new additions we haven't seen yet, or hell, this is the Switch, we could even see post-release content that's similar to the Delta episode in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, or the Team Rainbow Rocket stuff in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Around the early 2000s, so we're talking Gen 2, Gen 3 era, only about 20% of game owners would beat the games that they purchased. There's no hard data on what that number is today, but I'd say it's gone up at least marginally because games are now shorter and a little bit easier. I'm not saying that Game Freak and the Pokemon Company should ignore endgame content altogether. That would be stupid. But they do have bigger fish to fry. The most important thing is to make an enjoyable game through and through. Anything after the game ends is like a cherry on top. And for you hardcore Pokemon fans of the hardcore meta scene, well, you'll get your game in 2019. I'm more curious to see what from Pokemon Let's Go will be carried over into the more serious Pokemon 2019. See, doesn't that just sound ridiculous?
I find it equally ridiculous that, despite the fact that had Game Freak beeline the production of the full-fledged Pokemon game for 2018, we would be guaranteed to get a worse game than we're getting now. If Let's Go didn't exist, we just wouldn't have a 2018 game. No one wants that. That would be the upsetting thing.
Out-of-series games like Pokemon Let's Go allow a series to innovate without losing its reputation. Leave all the parts that don't work, but adopt the things that do. Still not too sure if motion controls are the way to go, but you know what? We're just gonna have to see now, won't we? So what do you guys think about how hardcore a Pokemon game should be, and are you excited for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee? Leave it in the comments below, at me on Twitter, all of this other social media garbage. We've already got 2 other videos about Pokemon Let's Go on this channel. One that's a hands-on of the game at E3, and another that's more of an overview on the Pokemon franchise as a whole leading up to Let's Go. So check those out after this video. And while you're at it, AJ has a whole ton of videos on Pokemon Let's Go. I will link a playlist to all of our videos relating to it. And while you're at it and you're over there, why don't you violate his subscribe button? Also related, I've been playing Pokemon Yellow over on twitch.tv/wolfden. You might have seen a clip of it or something. So follow on Twitch. That's also a great way to help support the channel, because if you got Twitch Prime, you just link it, then you join our supporters only Discord, you get these videos early, you get to play multiplayer games with us once a month, you're in the supporter chat that comes up on screen, all that good stuff. And if you want to support us to get a physical object, how about Wolf Den apparel? Get yourself one of these guys. Links to everything, of course, are in the description, but if you don't want to do any of that, the most important thing that you can do is just subscribe. That's all you need. And share this video with a friend who is also just as into Pokemon. Maybe he's fanatical, maybe he's one of these people that we were talking about this whole time. Maybe he's gonna shit all over us. Well, thank you guys very much. Have yourselves a very good week.